All right, this is Hannibal and Piper here from the HannibalTV.com. She's beside me. We're all set as Tyler Bate is in the ring. I was doing an interview with a paranormal astrology author that went a little long, so I'm just jumping into it now. But the important thing, the match I wanted to see was my old friend Jinder Mahal against Braun Breaker, who I've heard so much about, but never seen in a full match. And I've never really watched NXT. So here's Tyler Bate. Looks almost like a midget. He looks like a slightly taller version of Hornswoggle with longer hair. Maybe it's just the green shirt that makes me think that he's a con looking guy, but let's look how tall he is. Not that WWE ever says the real heights, but let's see. Tyler Bate. They say he's 5'7", so he's probably 5'6" or 5'5". As Scorpio would say, it's a smidget. So right now it's an in-ring promo. Last night's Raw was full of in-ring promos. I think the shows are free for NXT. I'm gonna look that up. Someone else is coming out. Surprise, surprise. It's the Rock's daughter. Jism, I think they're called. It's funny. The guy on the far right, he has a good physique, but all I could think about was that time like 25 years ago when Vince McMahon said that the audience is a little old for good guys and bad guys. And now, like over 20 years later, they have such a goofy group of heels. The Rock's daughter really looks like him. How happy must these guys to be with the Rock's daughter get attention that they wouldn't normally get. They're surrounding the ring now with the leprechaun guy on the inside. That's it. Yes, it is free. It's absolutely free to watch this. That's pretty cool. If you live in Orlando, you get to watch this for free. The good thing that wrestling has right now is they don't need to really worry about selling tickets with streaming deals and so forth. Ticket money is just bonus. I guess Shawn Michaels is the head writer of NXT. Now they're all going out of the ring, but there's a free corner he could jump out of. There's one side of it he could jump out of. Oh, here comes the people coming to save him with music. It was such a surprise that their music hit when they came out. It was so unexpected when they came out. Their music hit. I'm sorry, I just find that funny. Mike D, is it true the Rockers are going in the Hall of Fame? I have no idea. Chris says he wishes the show was only an hour. I didn't realize it was 90 minutes. I guess I'm glad I was half an hour late. Jamal Braun Breaker is going to get a big push when he gets in WWE 100%. But I hope they change his name. Mike Piper's sleeping beside me right now. She just devoured her toy. She just bit open She's feisty. I made a video of her earlier eating pancakes because it's pancake day here in Canada. Yeah, come get it. Come get it. Come get it. She's too lazy to come get it. Piper. I won't make her appear. Yes, I will. I'll show her. I'll show her. She doesn't want to watch. She doesn't want to watch. I like having fun with her. Someone says he's never seen a Raw or SmackDown live before. Do they have dark matches? It was cool. The cool part about the old Raw and SmackDowns is when they would give locals dark matches. But now they just use like NXT people in dark matches. So it's like I remember like Scott Hall in 1992 had a dark match before Superstars taping here in Ottawa. And I was like marking out, oh, the Diamond Stud is here. But like now it's like people you already know. Whereas before it's like, oh, I wonder if this guy's going to get signed. Like I remember Ted Hart and Harry Smith had a dark match in Calgary in 2004. And like they used me a couple of times. They used me against Eugene on a Raw taping in Vegas and against Heidenreich on a SmackDown. Now they would more likely than not just have NXT guys do it. Although sometimes they still have extras, but now they didn't really have this when I was doing it. Now they actually look at the extras and have them kind of evaluated more often than not before the shows start. Whereas when I was there, there was no WCW or ECW. So there was so much talent that it was harder to get looked at. I remember I was used as an extra like 14 times, and only 2 times did they have me do stuff. Usually you just sat back there and did nothing or acted as a tackling dummy. Someone says the referee is bigger than Tyler Debates. They like small wrestlers now. I just don't. I don't go for it. I really don't. I'm not a fan of small wrestlers, but whatever. As I said, I just got the WWE Network, so I'm testing out a few of these. I didn't want to go on video for 3 hours last night. You would have seen me almost fall asleep multiple times. Oh, and it's back starting again. How original a university gimmick. This is my first time seeing any of these guys in wrestling. I know AEW has kind of turned into the old NXT that the smart marks like, and NXT now is more people that aren't experienced wrestlers getting ring time. This guy gets to wrestle. I don't even know his name. He just took a weak looking clothesline, but in tennis shoes, jeans, and a shirt and a sweater. That, to be honest, as a wrestler, I remember when I was a full-time wrestler, it's such a lacing your boots takes so long to do. And then you got to get all oiled up and stuff and pumped up to just be able to wrestle in street clothes would be awesome. I remember I had a partner in Puerto Rico called Mr. Big that was like a Mr. Hughes type character who wore a suit. And at one point I was like trying to convince them, hey, why can't I just wear the suit too? And they're like, no, we like you as Hannibal. And I'm like, oh. Because I'd rather just walk in my street clothes and wrestle. Someone says Andre Chase is Christopher Nowinski minus the concussions. What were Christopher Nowinski's concussions from? Just bad bumping? Because I didn't really remember him wrestling for that long. I remember him more from Tough Enough. Some weird strikes there. The girl on the outside is kind of cute. I'm not talking about The Rock's daughter. I'm talking about the other one. The Rock's daughter looks too much like him for my taste, but she's got a good physique. But obviously, she has a great potential for success. By the way, I have interviewed The Rock's dad and The Rock's mom. They're both on this channel, and I like The Rock and his mother and his father. Although I never met The Rock yet. Not much, nothing outside the ring. They're sticking to wrestling here. It's a good setup. The little theater that they have here looks good. But my God, do they who writes this? Do they write this stuff just as a joke? The cheerleader with like the 1950s style megaphone on the outside. Like, I don't get that. That just does someone actually think that's going to get over? Come back now. This guy's got good size. This guy in the ring now, to me, seems to have the most potential. The guy in the red. If anyone knows who he is, feel free to tell me. I got the volume turned low. Nowinski was constantly used in hardcore matches. They caught up with him. The numerous beatings he took from APA. That's funny. I don't remember Christopher Nowinski in WWE. All I can tell you is I've been in way more hardcore matches than him and way more physical matches than him. And wrestled for like 20 years. But he went to Harvard. Obviously, his brain is something important to him. You don't want to go to Harvard and then wrestle in hardcore matches. That doesn't make logical sense. Duke Hudson from Australia, yes. He looks like a good athlete, and unlike these other guys, he's actually tall. And I'm not saying he could be a main eventer right now, but he looks like he has potential. That was a really weak looking. These are really weak looking punches, though. Forearm was good. There's a dive. Good facial expressions on all the women in that match so far. Someone says it's just the old Stevie Richards right to censor gimmick. I haven't seen the gimmick. This is my first time ever seeing NXT, other than a few clips here and there I've seen. And as I said, I'm joining it for the last hour. Mike liked it when I fought Terry Funk. You know what? You want to know what's interesting about those noises that I make when I wrestle? When the WWE hired me, they actually really liked those noises. And maybe I shouldn't talk about that public because someone's going to steal it. But they told me that it was very original and to keep doing it. Tom, yes, I'm watching NXT, but it's an advertisement right now. I'm watching it because a guy that I've defeated 3 times, Jinder Mahal, has been demoted to the farm system and is taking on Braun Breaker. But there's a commercial in progress now. By the way, I have to say, you can't get the WWE Network other than through Sportsnet now in Canada. and it's extremely complicated. It's extremely complicated. I still haven't figured out how to stream it to the TV. If you look on the cell phone, this is what here. Hold on. This is what happens. This is, by the way, Sportsnet. If anyone from WWE is watching this, which you very well might be, this is what shows up. I can't even watch it on my cell phone. I tried to listen to Broken Skull sessions at the gym. It just freezes up. So yeah, see. For instance, look, I'll try and click on this Cody Rhodes interview. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Let's see if they're going to prove me wrong. No, nothing happens. Nothing happens. WWE doesn't treat Canada the same as the US. We got shitty WWE networks through Sportsnet. And yes, I would like to watch. Like I've been watching the Charlotte Flair, Steve Austin Broken Skull session, but I got to watch it through my computer because look what happens. You try and cast it. Just so you guys know, I'm not crazy. Look what happened. No devices available. No devices available. Anyways. Now I'm having to reload the desktop to even get. Okay, now the ad's back on. Anyways, if anyone else in Canada has this problem or has any tips for actually being able to cast it onto the TV, let me know. Joey says, love my channel. Good job. Tom, I don't think they're going to reinstate Mandy Rose anytime soon. Tom, they turned Hacksaw Jim Duggan heel. He's been in Great North Wrestling a lot over the years, and I have a good interview with him on this channel. The show's back on. We got the evil looking guy. Sorry, it's not Jism, it's Schism. I guess someone picked that name out of a hat for them. Here come the what week? This guy does not know how to punch. If any one of his trainers are watching this, work on this kid's punching. That one was better than the first two. His name is Chase. They do a lot of like quick camera cuts in this. I don't know if that's to hide mistakes or what, if there's a little bit of a delay. Has The Rock's daughter actually had a match yet? If anyone knows, like on TV, put it in the comments, or if she's just managing. Swinging neck breaker. Apparently, the highest paid NXT wrestler is like 250 grand. Moonsault from the outside. Some decent high flying from this guy, especially for a guy that I don't know how tall he is, but he looks pretty tall. Good moonsault to the outside for sure that we're seeing the replay of. Good crossbody. His fire was good, but there was a bunch of punches that weren't that good. And it just takes one bad punch to ruin a comeback. But what he's doing now is better. I'm not even a big fan of punches in wrestling because in UFC, when can you punch a guy 20 times in the face and they don't bleed? To me, it's unrealistic. That's why when you ever see me wrestle, especially as the blood hunter, I don't think you'll ever see me punch anybody unless they're already bleeding or they start bleeding. Because to me, it's just not realistic. If I can punch somebody 20 times in the face and they're not bleeding, just makes me look weak. The Rock's daughter on the outside. German suplex now by this guy. Louis is watching NXT as torture. Well, so far there's been more wrestling action than on Raw. Tom says she hasn't taken any bumps, and the match just ended. Jism won with this evil laugh of The Rock, and now the cheerleaders crying. I'm sorry, but that giant cheerleading megaphone thing is just ridiculous. And especially, I didn't even hear or see her use that megaphone any time during that match. The crowd tonight is hotter than the crowd in Ottawa last night. The Ottawa crowd was pretty dead during the matches. Even Meltzer pointed it out. Ken Shamrock took a chair shot to the face. Punch wouldn't affect him. Someone says, I think Ken Shamrock has lost his anger towards me, but he was all mad at me a couple years ago when I said he's above taking the dick flip. Here's some acting backstage. This guy has such a weird forehead. Who is this guy with the weird forehead? It's almost like he had injections above his eyebrows. Now some Italian team is approaching him. Someone says he might be Chromegon. Never heard of that before. Let me look that up. Oh, like a caveman. Drew Gulak. I remember this guy, Drew Gulak's been one of Logan Paul's trainers. There was some type of contract dispute, I remember. At one point, his contract was coming to an end or something, and he didn't think they were going to pay him enough to resign. He doesn't look like anything special. What a cool job it would be to train Logan Paul for wrestling. I think they actually sent him to Puerto Rico for a while to do that. The announcer's hot. Jack Jade. Oh, it's a female. Jessie Jade. Okay. Here we go. Hopefully, it was better than the women's match on Raw. This girl has a good physique. Very good physique. Michael Jackson dancing in Michael Jackson style outfit. Another advertisement. I think Mr. Anderson. It's going to be Jake Paul's tough toughest challenge. I haven't. I'll have to actually watch more of Tommy Fury before I make a full call on that. But we'll see. We'll see if Jake Paul loses, how he'll handle a loss too, and how that will affect him. But he's had tremendous success at everything he's done so far. I wonder how much Logan Paul gets paid by WWE. I am getting hungry, I have to say. I did I did chest and back and cardio yesterday. Today I did cardio, biceps and triceps and abs. By the way, tomorrow I'll be interviewing the Sheik's manager, Dave Drayson. Thursday I'll be interviewing Alan Funk, who confronted Buff Bagwell, who was shaking with his cell phone hand, either from the drugs he was on or from fear. And that has like 200,000 views on my channel now. And then Typhoon on Friday, yes, Kiwi. Who do I think will go over at WrestleMania? It has to be Logan Paul. Logan Paul can't lose again. He didn't win the Royal Rumble, and he lost to Roman Reigns, and they want to make him a star. I can't see him lose again. And Seth Rollins, he makes a shitload of money. They overpay him. So he's not gonna put up a fuss, whatever they tell him, and he loses all the time, and he's kind of at the same level of the card, never really goes up or down. Let's look up what Seth Rollins makes. $3 million a year. Seth Rollins makes $3 million a year. There's so much money in wrestling. I saw him as a babyface yesterday, and I agree, he's a horrible babyface. By the way, someone made a comment yesterday that I'm not a good babyface. I've been a good babyface, and I'm actually do a video to prove that, because I'm a way better heel than a more natural heel, but I can be a good babyface. I'm not the type that can't do it. There's a lot of wrestlers that can only do babyface or heel. But in wrestling, to get over, really, it's all about who pushes you. If you get a push almost anyway, you have to be Brackus from the Attitude Era to fuck up getting over if you're pushed. If they want to make you a star, they'll make you a star. They shoved Roman Reigns down everyone's throat until he eventually became a star. Just happens. Shockmaster due for a comeback. He's gained weight the last picture I saw him. I know he's had health issues, but the last picture I saw him, he looked like he gained a lot of weight. They're doing a vignette for somebody. Skater girl. I didn't get along with the skaters in elementary school at all. I remember those days not very fondly. They're showing her not being able to do some skateboard stuff, then doing it successfully. She looks strong. Oh, she's already wrestled. She wants a match with Zoe. Zoe, I've actually interviewed before she got signed. She goes out with one of Rick Bassman's best friends, who was also in Pride. He was the trainer for UPW. Not the skater girl, but Zoe. Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell. Well, I've never actually seen her wrestle, and I've heard of her. I really find this girl attractive. The other one. She has a great physique. But Indy Hartwell, yeah, I've read a lot about her. I've never seen her wrestle before. Sol Rucka is a surfer skater chick, really good in there. Okay, I'm learning stuff today. I was learning about astrology earlier tonight. Now I'm seeing this NXT stuff. Nice hit to the back there. Hey, chops. There's not enough chops in WWE. I like to hear physical contact. Sami Zayn actually last night totally missed one of his punches. It's just like the good thing about the chop is they're real. So if you don't hit the person, you can aim to hit the person as hard as you want. Just do it in a place that's not going to kill them. I remember Tatanka would chop you in the nipple and the neck. I had to wrestle him a bunch of times in the UK, and he smelt terrible. I thought the first night that he just had gas, and then he smelled equally as bad the second night. There were some complaints that they replaced some English guy with Booker T on commentary, but I think it was a good call to put Booker T on commentary, who I've done a short interview with before. Tom says nobody chopped harder than Wahoo. I can chop pretty hard. I made someone cry in the ring once from chopping them. I'm not even exaggerating that. And I've had the cops call on me several times over chopping people in bars that ask for it, and then they get chopped and they act like they've been assaulted. Big Money Dan, the left-hand man, yes. Apparently Daddy Spivey was a pimp known as Big Money Dan, the left-hand man on the street. Would I wrestle in AEW? Yes, 100%. Because from what I understand, there's no contract under 100,000. Most are at least 150, and they pay people whether they wrestle or not. So you could wrestle like 4 times a year and make 150 grand. I could actually do this and wrestle for AEW, but they would never use me because I know they're the type of people they hire. Even though I'm way better known in wrestling than the majority of people on their roster. And I'm not just saying that, I am. I've talked to Steve Austin on the phone. I talked to Hulk Hogan on the phone. People know who I am in wrestling. The majority of the AEW roster, people have no idea who they are and don't care who they are. But I'd rather be an interviewer for AEW than a wrestler. But guys, don't hold your breath for that. Where did I wrestle in the UK? I wrestled in England, all over the place for All-Star Wrestling. And any place I enjoyed being, we wrestled like 1 to 2 times a day. We did the Butlins camps and stuff. So we didn't have much off time, and they didn't pay much. It was like 60 pounds a day. And you had to help take down the ring and stuff. And it was just, they paid for your accommodations and stuff and your travel, but it was brutal, like 7 or 8 hours drives. I was really popular with UK girls, though. I have to say, I was extremely popular. That I had sex literally the first day I arrived. How many people could do that? Like I remember Carl Willett. He was also PCO was also in the UK at that time. He's like, "How do you have sex with someone the first day you arrive?" And I'm like, "Well, it's easy. I joined a dating site before I came." So I had quite a fun time with the ladies, but yeah, I'm lucky I didn't get any of them pregnant. That's all I can say. Jason, my day was great. Tom Abdullah's hopefully he's going to die soon. He's in a wheelchair and is 82 years old and he's not in good health. Someone's just done a run in with orange hair. Gigi Dolan or someone. It looks like the barricades are padded. They look like they have pads on them. I'm not sure, but it does look like they're padded. The Great North Wrestling event, May the 6th, it's going to be steel barricades, old school style. The coolest part about being in NXT would be to have Shawn Michaels as a trainer. They're showing a vignette right now. Hopefully, everyone watching this is actually watching along. They're doing a vignette of two girls that are going to wrestle each other or something, and one of them is training the other. Kickboxing. Now it looks like amateur wrestling. The girl that interfered is the other half of Toxic Attraction. Gigi Dalton getting payback. Thank you for clearing that up. Don't do this to myself. Well, at least I could say I watched an hour of an NXT show. John, there is an interview with the Iron Sheik on this channel, but it's not mine. His agents, the Megan boys, who are the same people that run both his and Virgil's Twitter. It's not the Iron Sheik or Virgil that run their Twitter. This tag is annoying me. The agents, ever since his documentary come out, they don't want to let him do any interviews. In fact, I met the Iron Sheik in Iowa when he got an award there a few years ago. And he said he would do an interview with me. And then these guys came up and said, no, he's too busy to do an interview. We'll get it done in Canada with you. And then they never did. And then they contacted me and asked, could we use your footage for something over a documentary we're doing about the Sheik? And I'm like, no, only if you give me an interview with him. And they said they wouldn't. So the hell with those guys. Tom's watching and listening. Ring span, Shawn Michaels booking sucks the big one. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of it to make a comment about that, to be honest with you. Today's wrestling, someone mentioned last night, are you even a wrestling fan? I'm a huge wrestling fan. I don't even watch really other sports other than wrestling, but I'm more interested in the old stuff and interviewing the old wrestlers and reading about them and watching the older matches because I don't find the new stuff as good. At least when it's hot girls, it's watching hot girls. So I'd rather watch the girls matches than the guys. But last night's Raw 3 hours was absolute torture. I did not enjoy that. I've stopped using weed, but I think if I do the WrestleMania pay-per-views, I'm gonna have to get some gummies or something because there's no way I could do that sober again. Frank says, what moves are currently banned in WWE? Pile drivers, chair shots that are unprotected. I think even chair shots to the head are banned. Don't quote me on that, but last I heard, you couldn't even put your hands up on the head. I know that one's banned. There's some others, but they don't come to mind. Someone says today's wrestling is a shell of what it used to be. I agree. I'm not into it. As Meltzer was saying last night, the reactions were better to the entrances than any of the matches. I like when wrestlers just came out of the curtain with no music. Like with Blood Hunter, I only use music when I had to because I think you should just be able to be entertaining by be able to get heat. So many old timers are gone now. Yes, Tom. We're people that grew up in the 80s, unfortunately, are old now. I just turned 40. A lot of our heroes are dead. People we grew up. Thank God I was able to interview a lot of them before they passed and become friends with a lot of them. Tom, yeah, no, you're never going to see the head claw. Sadly, that I don't think is coming back. But yes, I'm not going to watch SmackDown. I'm not going to torture myself with SmackDown. Also, I don't know. I'm not friends with anybody on SmackDown. And I'm not even friend. I haven't even talked to Jinder Mahal. The last time I talked to him was when he came here when he was champion. That was the last time I had any communication with him, and he gave me his new number then. But I was like, I know you don't want to speak to me, so I never bothered him. But him and I at one point in Calgary were almost like very, very close friends, almost best friends, I would say. We were such good friends that he would fly himself to Ottawa to wrestle on Great North Wrestling events for me. He would be paid to wrestle, but he would fly himself here just to help me out, and because we liked hanging out. I do remember though, I was fucking this girl once in his hotel room for some reason. Oh, I'm trying to remember why. I think because I was sleeping on the pull-out couch, and he went for a walk downtown because it was downtown Ottawa. And when he came back in, her and I were on the bed watching TV, and like as a joke, he jumped onto the bed, and he ended up breaking the bed. It wasn't. It was. I didn't even know it was that badly broken until I got the hotel receipt. It was like a ridiculous amount because the bed was broken, but it was from Raj jumping on the bed. Anyways, Raj was quite a ladies' man too, by the way. Quite a ladies' man. Very fun guy to go out with. Here's the tag team champions coming out. Malik Blade and Boris something. I don't think the tag team titles are going to change hands here. I don't like the poses like the tag team champions now. It's like we have to come to the ring and stand on the ring apron and do a pose. Cross our arms and just look around. It just looks too choreographed. Like I'm too big a Bruiser Brody fan, but I can't see Bruiser Brody coming to the ring and be like, okay, now I'm going to stand in the middle of the ring and put my arms like this and go like this and this. I just can't see him doing that. Zoe Stark is on. I don't see Zoe Stark. I see a tag team match. Is it delayed on my end? What was the most physical, the most painful one? I remember a guy named Carnage who was Stampede Wrestler. He didn't try hard enough to get in WWE. He could have got in WWE. He wrestled mostly Harry and I in Stampede. And Bruce told him to do this move where you like grab a guy from by the neck and like twist around and like almost hang him, pulling the neck while you're on his back. And this guy was like 6'8", 6'10". And I just remember when he did that, it felt like my neck was going to break. It was so painful. That one stands out to me as being really painful. Or being kicked in the back. I fucking hate that. I hate it when like someone snapmares you and kicks you in the back full force. Once I had that done to me, and there was like a whole shock that went up and down my spine. I fucking despise taking that. But other than that, there's not much I won't. I'm not the type. I've wrestled people that are like this, but I'm not the type that says, "Oh, we're not doing this. Stay away from this. This hurts. I won't take this. I won't take that." I'll always do pretty much anything. Maybe that worked to my detriment. Someone's coming down with a cake. Someone's obviously going to get thrown into a cake. Whenever you see a cake in wrestling, you know someone's going to get thrown into it. No, Brody didn't stand still for a second. The champions are Gulas and Joe Gullis and Joe Coffey and Wolfgang. Okay, thank you. Nice flip to the outside. Who's going to go through the cake? Nice elbow drop. This guy's a good athlete. This guy's a good athlete. And unlike Sami Zayn, he has muscle on him. Just have to throw that shot in because it pisses off the Sami Zayn fans. Tom saw Brody's last match in Chicago in 87 or 88 against John Nord. John Nord is quite a character. I hope he's got his demons under control these days. It's funny that I'm actually doing an NXT watch log. I didn't think I'd ever do something like this, but I am. But this match is not holding my attention that well. Thank God it's over. They retained the titles. Now is someone going to go in the cake? The cake is still out there, isn't it? Yeah, great elbow drop by this Anafe guy. I don't like the finishing move. See, once again, here's the stupid thing. They did the pin with one man in the ring. They did a pin with one man still in the ring. Since when are you allowed to pin somebody when your partner's in the ring? You're supposed to only have one guy in the ring in a pin during a tag match. This I don't get. Oh, there goes the cake. The guys delivering the cake are going through the cake. How many homeless people would love a piece of cake right now and they just waste it? But yeah, my critique of this tag team match, these guys are getting hit with chairs by women to the back. So there's your answer. Doesn't look like they're taking headshot. Okay. I guess they're doing mixed, or these men and or these what the hell? I don't get it. I guess these are men or they're transgenders. I don't understand this. Could you imagine if you're not a transgender and you're given that gimmick by WWE? Could you imagine how much that would suck? If they're like, hey, we got a great gimmick for you. All right. Well, that's something. They're not women. Okay. Well, that was something. I guess the transgenders are baby faces and the transgenders wrestle men in NXT. I really don't know. Huge bump on the stairs. Let me go back and look at that again, since it's an advertisement. Damn it! I just missed it. I'm looking for the stair bump now. I'm thinking I'm gonna why they threw somebody into the stairs. Believe it or not, it doesn't hurt to actually be thrown into the stairs, especially if you have a big back like these guys. Now, what did they do on the stairs? Undertaker used to love to take the bump into the stair. All right, what are they gonna do? Sorry, I know it's an ad. I'm just rewatching the stair bump. I don't know. I don't know how tough that is. Interesting stuff. Okay, so here we go. I really wish this is this going to end at 9:30, guys? Is this going to end at 9:30 or does it go on until 10? Because I really don't want to sit through another 40 minutes of this. The stair bump, the one where you get thrown into it doesn't hurt, especially if you have a thick back. Getting slammed onto it like that guy, if you don't take it well, it could hurt really bad. Oh, it ends at 10. It's 2 hours. Here I was thinking it was a 1 hour show. And now that I thought it was an hour and a half, now I find out it's 2 hours. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I don't have any weed. And I just have water. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, just let me know in the comments because we got to make this next 40 minutes. We got to make this next 40 minutes go by. Want to see how good Piper is? She's sound asleep. She's very tired. She's had a big day today, walking in the snow. Jinder will be on last, yeah. And sadly, I don't think he's going to win. I sadly don't think he's going to win. Sadly, I think the next step, the good thing he has going for him is he's India. He's from India. And India is a big market for them. But supposedly he makes $900,000 a year still. And to pay someone $900,000 a year for being on NXT, I can't see that going on forever. They'll either give him a pay cut or try him on the main roster again or release him. I would imagine. And yeah, good luck to him. Triple H compared Sammy to Foley. Oh my God. Oh my God. How? Please explain that to me. Someone says no. Kevin Owens does have a lot of pull in WWE. They will never give Jeremy Prophet a chance because he has heat with both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Same with the Rougeau's kids. Kevin Owens and Zayn will make sure that those guys never get in WWE unless it sells and Kevin and Zayn lose their power. But I think Profits is in good standing with AEW now. I can see AEW eventually taking him. He was on the first ever AEW match in Toronto. Why does wrestling suck bad nowadays? Well, one of the main reasons is there's too much of it, so they got to fill all this time. So it's quantity over quality. The other thing is the talent's not as good as it used to be. There's less stars, and it's not as realistic as it used to be. The realism is gone. Tom says Jinder wrestles with two other Indian men who are very large. Yeah. I don't think they're going to make him WWE champion again. No, I haven't seen Braun Breaker. I'm looking forward to it if I can stay awake. Here's a decent looking girl, at least. Who is she? Like an announcer? Lyra Valkyria. That sounds like, honestly, a type of genital disease that you could catch. Lyra Valkyria. I'm not sure I like that name. The Lyra girl does look attractive, though. I'll give her that. I find the name a little unusual. Who is the girl on the computer? John Foley's tall though. Foley's like 6'3", 6'4". Sammy's like 5'7". So as out of shape as Foley was, he's at least like 300 and something pounds, 6'2", like a big intimidating guy with a crazy look. Yes, Ringspan. Jeremy trained at the Nightmare Factory and is on good standing with people in AEW. They just have so many wrestlers right now, and a lot of them aren't even wrestling. So it's like, what do they? There really is no job for a guy like him. Here's the guy with the weird. He has a good look. I'm not insulting his look. I'm just saying he's got unique eyebrows, which can work to your advantage in WWE. Also, the matches are too choreographed now. Two big guys, at least, in this match. Triple H says Zayn is a common man. Breaker is exceptionally good. Well, he's got it in his blood. Someone says Von Wagner is the son of Bo Beverly. Oh, that's pretty cool. The Beverly Brothers, managed by the genius. He's tall. Does anyone have the contact information for the Beverly Brothers? They would make a good interview. You never hear about the Beverly Brothers anymore. He's turning his back on his opponent. Look at Piper. Ah, sorry. She's on her back. Stay. Show them how cute you are. Show them how cute you are. Sorry. She's getting her belly rub. All right, let's go back to this. Piper loves her belly rub. She's looking at me now. Why did you stop? Why is the manager sitting down? Is that just the gimmick? Oh, she wants a hug now. We're best buddies. You like her skull sweater? Because she is B-A-double-D, bad to the bone. The face and the beard for Foley? Sure. Frank has been rewatching a lot of ECW on Peacock. Someone said in the press conference the Levesque, the S is silent, Levesque. Sorry, how do you pronounce his name properly? It doesn't matter. I honestly don't care. Triple H seems like just a complete asshole. Arrogant asshole. I hope WWE gets sold and it becomes more entertaining. But I'm not hating on the guys in the ring now. They got size. I think just between Raw last night and this, I might be a bit burnt out. And I was really expecting an hour show. Oh, the Italian guy won. I thought the other guy was going to win. Tony D'Angelo won. Von Wagner lost. Who comes up with these names? Von Wagner. Was the Italian guy independent wrestler before? If anyone knows, write it in the comments. I'm curious. This is my first time seeing him. Who's the best wrestling talent to come out of England? Davey Boy Smith. He was the most over, in my opinion. Dynamite Kid was never as over as Davey Boy Smith internationally. Dynamite might have been a better technician, but Davey Boy Smith was more popular, put more asses in the seats, which is the mark of a good wrestler, because how to fake wrestle, how to pretend fight, that doesn't actually mean you know how to wrestle for real. Really doesn't. Hate to tell that to people. Regal, he's the best ass kisser ever to come out of England. He's definitely not on Davey Boy Smith's level. He was best in WCW, in my opinion. But was a great politician. Nikki Lyons on crutches here with a very revealing top. The good thing about this is I'm like sometimes have problems falling asleep, and I'm already just wanting to fall asleep right now. What's the most hated interview I've done? The Goon was the rudest, and Dark Journey was fucked up on something. There was white substance on the table when her phone turned off. Dark Journey, I think, was worse than the Goon because at least the agent, um, or the Dark Journey agent, like she only did half the interview, and I paid for the full thing, and she was all fucked up. I was just frustrating. Adrian Street is the best from Wales. Another guy from Wales that I wrestled with in the UK was what the hell was his name? Mason Ryan. Mason Ryan. I was actually friends with him too. This girl has a good look to her. The dark-haired one. There's definitely a lot of talking in wrestling these days. Kofi Kingston. I've wrestled him before in Deep South. Him and I wrestled each other both of our first day in Deep South Wrestling. He brought a notebook into the practices. He was very dedicated. Someone says you always got to have a hidden stash of weed. Yeah, I mean, maybe as someone said last night, if I'm off of weed, why the hell watch wrestling if it makes you want to have weed? Which, by the way, is legal in Canada. There's stores everywhere. But to make it through the last 26 minutes here, I'm counting them down. I could use something. I don't have anything here that could make it easier. Mike, do I feel Sammy, Triple H, and Roman and WWE tricked Montreal into thinking a huge pop was going to win? I think that's going to hurt their business. For sure. It's going to hurt their business in Montreal, 100%. Because I honestly don't think Sammy will ever be as over as he was that night in Montreal. I just don't see it happening again. That was a special night. And they had a chance to do it, and they didn't do it. And I understand why they didn't. He's small. Roman looks more like a champion. If they're going to pass it to Cody, Cody looks more like a champion. But Sammy right now is more over than Cody. But who would be the better long-term champion? I couldn't see Sami Zayn being a champion long-term. So who knows? They have their reasons for making their decisions. But I do think that all that hype to not give the fans what they wanted in Montreal, I don't think that's gonna hurt the market. Dark Journey, she caused Sting to get beat up by Dick Slater. She's from Mid-South Wrestling. Former stripper, so surprise, surprise, she's got substance abuse problems. Still into her 60s. But she was all fucked up. All fucked up. But it was her choice to get that fucked up before an interview, which is pretty much going to be what she's remembered for because I'm not doing another one with her. Mike. Yes, it will hurt Sammy for sure. Yeah, good. Trish was at Raw, and they didn't use her. She would have got a bit of a pop. I would have used her for something. Someone says Sammy was never supposed to be in the main event picture. The only reason he got it was because of Cody Rhodes' injury. That is true. That is 100% true. I don't know if bad guy Cody Rhodes, as someone called him last night, is going to be the next John Cena, though. Yeah, as I said, this is a good cure. I don't need to take any melatonin tonight. This is putting me to sleep for sure. Mr. Anderson would rather watch Butlins wrestling than NXT. Well, you could drink at Butlins, and you know what the crowd chants there? Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya? That's like an insult to the fans. And a heel there is called a baddie. It's funny. I fucked some girl and her daughter's like, "Mommy, is he a baddie? Is Devin a baddie?" It's so funny. They call heels baddies. Good gimmick for me would be a Sergeant's Law. I'm actually very versatile. Extremely versatile. Say hello to the bad guys, yes. Did I win? Did I win what? I don't even remember what I was talking about. It started back though. Two rapper style guys and this leprechaun guy. You see, it just seems like so much acting now. It seems like they're just reciting lines. Where the old days, the promos were just crazy and wacky. Cody could call himself the American Raccoon. That's a good one. That is a good one. If Triple H confirmed that Montreal is now on the map, was it ever not on the map? It's always been known as one of the best wrestling cities. Here comes someone. I like the one on the left's outfit. I'm going for the. Actually, I like the one on the right here. Not the one in the ring, but the manager and the goth girl in the ring. I like. Another pose on the apron for the hard camera. I do like this girl, the goth girl's outfit, because I am goth. Well, the one that I thought was managing is wrestling. Cool hair. I like the ones on. I like the girls on the outside, as far as attractiveness. Um, I hope the goth one wins the match, though. And I'm sorry if I don't seem enthusiastic by this point. I'm just burnt out. I do like the chop, though. That's very nice. Good bump. Good strikes. I wonder how much Booker T gets paid to do his announcing job. That I would like to know. Good day. Val Vinnis has a political YouTube channel. He's had that for a long time. I like Val Venus as a person, but you guys may have noticed I'm really not political at all, and he's extremely political. Um, Ivy Nile is a badass. Yes, WWE is more of a machine now. It doesn't have the heart. That's why I want them to sell so badly, especially to a private company. It would be interesting to see what Saudi Arabia would do to it. I think McMahon would still be involved if Saudi Arabia owned it. If Endeavor, the UFC owners, bought it, I don't know. I don't know what would happen. You definitely see more UFC WWE crossover, which I don't necessarily would be. Most of the UFC guys weren't good wrestlers. Look at all the UFC guys AEW tried to bring in that didn't pop ratings and weren't good in the ring. Very few MMA fighters have made good wrestlers. And the same goes for wrestlers becoming MMA fighters. Less than 20 minutes remaining. Oh, I actually did that move in my very first match. Razor's Edge into a face bomb. Good. The one I wanted to win won. Although I like her managers look better, but I'm glad they won. It's a cool. But the manager on the outside, she's gorgeous. All right, here we go. By the way, I've wrestled Rick Steiner, and I beat Rick Steiner. I beat this guy's dad. Yeah, I think he has potential. I just wish they would change his last name. And no, sorry, Jinder Mahal does not have a chance in hell of winning this. Sadly, he's got no momentum going for him. Michael, yeah, well, if the Saudis buy it, I don't have any grudge with the Saudis. So my chance of getting a job as an announcer or something would increase. But if not, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. But I would love to get a high paying job before I die. Braun Breaker even sounds like a Steiner. I agree. Whoever buy WWE, honestly, they need to clean. They need a good house cleaning and fire a lot of people that are not over and bring in a lot of new people, in my opinion. Jinder Mahal is better than people give him credit for. I agree. I agree. Tom, I don't think the Iron Sheik will be brought back. I don't know how healthy he is, but he's outlived a lot of people. He's outlived a lot of people. I remember the last interview I did with Nikolai Volkov. He told me he was worried about the Iron Sheik, and he was talking to me about his vegetarian diet, and then he ends up dying literally in July. I interviewed him, I think, in June, and I think he died in July. AEW needs some house cleaning too. Yes, I agree. I agree. They need some serious house cleaning. And I don't this is and I'm not saying this to be an asshole, but people that aren't over should should be fired, and then they should have to get over on the indies to get their job back. But what happens today is they just get fired and they sit at home, and a lot of them get their jobs back for whatever reason after they've had a break off of TV, which is one of the crappy things about wrestling these days. You used to have to be one of the best to get your job, but it's more political than ever. All right, we got like 13 minutes left. I'm starving right now because I didn't interview before this. I'm so hungry. And I'm also ready to go to bed. Please. Commercial break in progress. I only had matches in WWE. They paid me a bunch of times for tryouts, but then when they signed me, after the first time they actually looked at me, they signed me. And which, by the way, was in 2009. But then when I did the medical, it was found that I had Hep C in my blood. So they rescinded the contract offer. And I had to go through like 3 or 4 years of treatment to get cured of Hep C. So I was never actually under contract because they rescinded the contract offer. What do I think of Logan Paul? I'm interested in him. I've been following him. I enjoy his podcast. Not everything about his podcast, but I got to watch it. He's the best. He's one of the best. You got to learn from the best. Norman Smiley still works in the Performance Center. Don't eat too close to bedtime. Get a stomach ache. Yeah. It's aching now. I'm so hungry. Mashiko-san, I've interviewed her before. She seems like a bitch, to be perfectly honest with you. Barry thinks Sasha Banks is the best woman in the wrestling business. I'm doing great, Jason. I'm just waiting for the last 10 minutes of this to end. Sorry. This is why I don't people like act like I secretly watch this stuff, but I don't. And I try not to be negative, and it brings out the negative side of me. Interesting ring span. I never heard that. The show started back now. Here's another vignette. They're really what I don't understand is that it really is turning into more of a TV show than wrestling with all these acting vignettes, and that these guys aren't in the actor union. It makes no sense to me. Ten minutes. I thought they were going to give like Jinder a good long match, but I guess he's going to be losing pretty quickly. The main event hasn't come up yet. I get along with him. Yes, we're in the business together. We wrestled a bunch of times. What's the occasion to watch now? I got the network yesterday. I wanted to see the Raw in Ottawa. And then I saw on the advertisements that it's Jinder Mahal, who I know, wrestling Braun Breaker tonight. And I worked out earlier today because I had an interview to do at 7. So I'm like, okay, I'll watch NXT and do the stream. But is it something I'm going to do every week? No, but I am going to do it with the pay-per-views. Mike, time will tell what happens with Sammy and MVP. MVP, I did get along with in Deep South. By the way, I got nothing against him. Got nothing against Sammy either, other than he's not my taste of a wrestler. MVP, he's had success. Can't take that away from him. Here comes Jinder. He's in way better shape now than he was when I knew him, though. He was never that jacked, which I don't think they would release him due to how good his physique is. But being on NXT is definitely something I'm not happy about seeing for him. There's a good chance he might actually see this, by the way. Do I watch DJ? I know I never heard of that person. The acting increased during the pandemic. NXT usually goes a few minutes past 10. Okay. Good day. The network, as I said earlier, good day. I'm having issues with it. It's not streaming on my TV or my phone. As I said, it just shows up as a black screen on my phone. So I gotta watch everything on the computer. I am interested to see these Broken Skull sessions. Kevin Owens is a piece of shit, slimy scumbag. And I've talked about the issues I've had with him, which he started years ago. It's not. I'm far too tired to talk about him. I want to watch this match here. Jinder is about my height, maybe an inch taller than me. He looks a lot taller than Breaker, but Breaker looks great. By the way, Jinder only did his WWE tryout after I got signed for mine, and another one of our common friends, Randy Myers, got signed from the previous one, and he applied for the one he got signed from because he saw that we got signed from ours. Tom, yeah, Jinder is legitimately 6'5". Legitimately 6'5". Jinder's making 900,000 a year according to what I'm reading. So to be on NXT for 900,000 a year, that's pretty damn good. That doesn't include merchandise sales either. He didn't have such a tough guy gimmick when I knew him. He was teaming with Gamma Singh Jr. as the Karachi Vice, as Tiger Raj Singh. By the way, there's a match of Jinder Mahal against Psycho Sid on this channel. That was a good match. Great physiques on both these guys. Do I have my volume down too low, or are they even mentioning that Jinder's a former champion in this? You never saw Rick or Scott do the high flying stuff like that. Braun Breaker has better punches than Sami Zayn. You see, that's the one thing I don't understand about the "you deserve this" for Sami Zayn. He doesn't look like he works out. Shouldn't deserving being a wrestler have to actually look a little bit muscular like Braun Breaker looks? Like Braun, what I like about Braun Breaker here is he doesn't look like someone that you'd want to mess with. They're going to an ad already. Fuck. Oh, it's gonna go overtime. But this has been the best match so far. Definitely the best match so far. By the way, I'll probably do a stream for the Raw with John Cena, which I think is like March from Boston in March. But I don't think I'm gonna do too many before then. Ugh. Sorry, I'm reading my emails. Oh my god, I get so much hate messages from the Jim Cornette fans. It's actually quite hilarious. They don't realize that commenting on my videos actually gets them ranked. I wrestled Renee in Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling twice. I think Kevin Owens is a good politician. I think he's a great politician and a good backstabber and suck up. What about Cornea sold out? What I don't like about the Cornette fans is they take everything he says as gospel when he's one of the biggest liars in wrestling. Legit. I would put Jim Cornette up there with Hogan as one of the biggest liars in wrestling. He's just a horrible person. Kevin Owens is not in good shape either. Actually, I heard on the Austin podcast, when he was on the Austin podcast, that he tries to sleep as much as possible on the road when he's not wrestling to make the time go by faster. He actually said that. It's like, how about you get in the gym? But the thing is, they don't care if he goes in the gym. Whatever. Good for him. He makes $2 million or something a year. Great politician. If the company's sold, I don't think Saudi Arabia is going to keep pushing him. I'll be perfectly honest. Here we go. The match is back on here. And I'm just burnt out. If you happen to be watching this, Jinder Mahal, it's nothing against this match. This is the best match I've seen. This is the best match I've seen, actually, from Raw and NXT. Legit. By far. They should have had this match on Raw rather than that stupid segment with the women in the ring with the door. He just slapped. Did he just slap Broad Breaker's ass? Or am I missing something there? Do I like Vince Russo as a person? He's really nice. He's one of the nicest people in wrestling. Stevie didn't want to do an interview with me because he has his own podcast. Yes, what about it? Would be great if they would turn it back to more old school. I would love that. That's why I'm not against it. Greg, I haven't wrestled for several years now. Because as you can see, my passion for it's gone somewhat, but I do like interviewing people. But I'm not hating on this. I'm just burnt out of wrestling after I thought this was only going to be an hour show, so 3 hours last night, 2 hours tonight. That's 5 hours in 2 days. That's a lot, but I do like this match so far. Braun Breaker, I think, is better than Cody Rhodes. I think Braun Breaker has more. You know what? If I was a booker, just from what I've seen the last 2 nights, make Cody loose. Have have uh, have Roman Reigns win at WrestleMania, and then have Braun Breaker call him up and have him win shockingly on Raw the Monday after WrestleMania, which is always their biggest Raw. Piper thinks I'm talking to her. She doesn't understand I'm talking to the screen. That would be my booking, since everyone's sick of Roman Reigns winning all the time. But I think there's more potential and a talent for Braun Breaker. Oh, Piper, you're blocking my view now. She is a very good dog. Oh, here comes the straps. Oh, my battery's about to die. I gotta plug this computer in. Hold on. Sorry, Piper. I'll take you out after. She's had enough too. She wants to go out for a walk. Sorry, Piper. Come back. All right. And start calling him Braun Steiner. I agree. Start calling him Braun Steiner. Someone says my gimmick. I could sell, yes. One thing people don't give me enough credit for is I can sell. I know how to make people look good. I'm actually really good at making people look good. I don't do it with all my matches, but when I'm asked to, I do. I'm really good at making people look good. Someone says Braun Breaker is one of the few guys coming up that could be a legit star. I agree. He appeals to the old fans too. 10:04. You see, why didn't they cut out a lot of these crappy interview segments and just make the show end at the right time? One thing about Jinder Mahal is he doesn't look like he does squats. He's got no ass. Nice leg slap there by Raj. Frankensteiner. Yeah, he looks so much like a Steiner too. He's got a lot of potential. I'm impressed. He's the most impressive wrestler I've seen um, in the past 2 nights of watching wrestling. And I'm biased with Mahal, but I'll say he's the second best. Cobra clutch type slam turned into a arm drag spear. I'm surprised they ended with that spear because it didn't look the strongest, unless it's his finisher. But best match, better than any of the Raw matches, and I see a lot of potential in Braun Breaker. Thank you for watching with these guys, with me, guys. Appreciate it. His favorite matches with Blood Hunter were against Sabu and Sandman. Piper's a very loving dog, isn't she? Wallace says he doesn't believe a wrestling promotion will like to give up their time on the networks. I don't know. Piper enjoyed the match. Yeah, See, this was the only match Piper watched. You notice she slept through every match but Braun Breaker versus Jinder Mahal. So there you go. You guys got the Piper stamp of approval, and I'm signing off. Thanks for helping me get through this to the watchers. Piper says bye. Mwah.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you